of it is low gas, early extra barracks plays, getting the second and third barracks before starport, and then just having a ridiculous amount of bio, sometimes delaying upgrades and the like. Keep your eyes on the barracks timings for this young man in the bottom left side of Waterfall in the blue, representing Invictus Gaming. It's Coffee.
My favorite hot beverage by like a large margin. Tea is second, but coffee is like number one by a pretty large margin. I like it way more than tea. And in the top right here, playing the Protoss pieces from Chaussee Lotour, Skinny Camel. This is Firefly.
Kind of random tangent, but for any Chinese speakers in the Twitch chat, this is your chance before we get to any Jaishi games to tell us how to pronounce his name properly.
I brought that up yesterday, yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, so I think it's Jiexia is correct because of how the Chinese word for like sure is like am, basically. Like it's a very very, very commonly used word, but it's and it's at the end of his name. So I just figured whenever I see SHI in the Chinese language, it's gonna be sure like that. But I also said we are also Western speaking English people who will struggle and make that mistake. So we're just going to go with Jaishi
anyway. But like,
yeah, we're going to go with Jaishi.
If it's in the completely wrong direction, you know, I'm like maybe. I mean, because when I Google it, Chiang Kai-shek comes up. Obviously, famous historical figure and so on. But I'm like, is that the same name, or is that just this is a nickname of that? I still don't know. My Googling came up short. I couldn't figure out what was going on.
Chat, we're going to be real with you as we get into the early game here. We are straight up just ignorant Australians, ignorant white Australians. And, you know, if it's something that's offending Jaishi especially, like, we definitely want to fix it up. But for this tournament, we will just go with Jaishi for now. But, you know, we are also open to being wrong, like all healthy adults should be. And happy to change things up if people want us to. Yeah,
no worries. So thank you very much, everyone, for hanging out tonight. Twilight Council is going down for Firefly. Okay, all right. Adept's trying to deny the scouting and, of course, not putting any pressure on. Coffee's playing safe, though, with a bunker. So Coffee doesn't want to kind of cut any corners here and risk anything. Shield battery in the main as well. Wait, did Firefly not probe scout?
I don't think he scouted at all. No, it's just the Reaper. Oh,
he did.
Okay, no, he must have. Okay, okay.
I'm surprised that he kept the Adept at home and built his shield battery in the main. This is excessively safe. And something a few of the Protoss players have been doing lately, Max Packs as well. So something I've got to investigate and go questioning some of those pro players about to get their insight on this one. But nice quick blink does start up. Double Marine and a Hellion for Coffee. Starport on the way. So he's not doing that kind of low gas, quick extra barracks delayed starport play that I talked about being one of his specialties. Is going for Tech Lab. So, you know, real just kind of feeling each other out opening, right? The Reaper's scouted, the Probe's scouted, there's defensive batteries, but there's also a defensive bunker. Both players are just taking, you know, careful steps to get towards the mid game.
Yeah, really, it's at that point where to try and get sort of an early tell on what the players are up to. It's really like what's going on that tech lab for Terran. Are we going into early tanks? Are we going to switch that with the Starport and start getting into Ravens? Coffee actually getting a little bit of probe damage here, nearly getting 3 probes. Lovely Reaper Scout. When you get those, when you get a full scout of your opponent's entire infrastructure and probe kills, that's the dream.
Yeah.
And it is going to be the Raven. So you keep an eye on the gas count, you line it up with that 200, and you're like, okay, so this is going to be a very normal 1-1-1 expansion into the 3 barrackses, and then getting your third a little bit later.
Did cost a Hellion as well, darting in with the Reaper to get that, but yeah, I think you see what's going on and you're like, this is just such a standard game, right? You're like, okay, and you're doing such a standard build as Coffee. You've got the safety Raven on the way. The question is, does he build a safety tank, or does he just swap that factory off? Because knowing that there's only 2 gateways, the other gateways hadn't started, he might feel comfortable just being like, nah, straight into Widow Mines.
Yeah,
we're going to play full mobile. And that's awesome because faster stim, faster shields, more mobility. The Raven clears up observers. One of the main advantages of 2-gate Robo is you get observers out. The next one is Colossus, especially if you take these quick gases like Firefly is. He's not playing the Stalker Zealot style. So Interference Matrix as well. Both game changers. The Raven is going to be such an integral part of this. And the only question for me is, you know, how hard does Coffee commit to the push? Does he pull the boys and just go for it and YOLO? Is it kind of like, nah, building the third behind it? You know, it's semi-committed, but not that hard. So for now, Fireflies, he's just trying to get vision. He wants to see if anything moves out of the map and start picking away at it with this small squad of Stalkers. And the Robo Bay does go down here at 5 minutes 10. Now, Robobay and Forge, that's going to add Colossus upgrades, really powerful a few minutes from now. I always, when I see a 5-minute Robobay go down, though, I'm like, yeah, it's going to be like past 7 minutes by the time the first Colossus is really on the field, and 2 Colossus with range is like many minutes away. On the other hand, because the Raven's been built, Coffee shouldn't be able to push before 7 minutes. If you wait for tanks, it's like 7:30 earliest, usually. With no tanks, he might be able to push as early as like 6:45 at the fastest. Either way, the point is that like it's all about kind of seeing when that comes out, having your defense ready just in time. Losing a Stalker, did he I think he got 1 SCV only?
Yeah, so far. But yeah, losing that Stalker, a pretty big loss there in the early game for Firefly.
And he's
25
actually
and 50 down the toilet.
He's playing a little scared in that he's built 2 shield batteries already, 1 on the natural, 1 on the third, 1 on the main. But like minutes before the push hits him, they already finished a little while ago. The army's now moving out, and that's kind of scary because the first Colossus isn't on the field. He's already not got enough Stalkers to one-shot any units coming across the map. Hopefully he's got a bit of sentry energy because he needs something to stall this push out. I mean, Coffee could also pick up and drop the main, and if that first Colossus goes down, it's game over.
Yeah, 100%. He's a very, very marine-heavy Terran. That Colossus with Thermal Lance and +1 will really shut this down, but it doesn't have all those upgrades just yet. There's no tanks with this push, but there is a Raven as well, which could shut down the Colossus if need be.
Oh, yeah, Raven does decide to use that Matrix. Good call. Nice force field, though, to buy himself a bit of time. The Bio's going to head into the third base, though. Battery overcharge gets depowered. And look at this. Good micro by Firefly. He's got, like, no units, but interference Matrix.
Oh! The body blocking in the force fields.
He drops a Marauder over the force field, snipes the Colossus.
So sick.
Anyway, Coffee here with a big squad of Bio. These Stalkers starting to actually kill the last of them. Might be time to pull back. His rally's a little draggled out, but I think he's already done enough damage. Second Colossus is only now starting. That is way too late on that. And Firefly here just playing a little bit too safe in the early stages. Paranoid about what Coffee might throw his way. And Coffee just did a very straight up, okay, Raven into Bio build. This is actually a build you can find on Uthermal's YouTube channel from his Terran school days. Like, it is the most classic TVP build. It's very straightforward, but it's just very powerful.
It is a great all-rounder. It's like not super aggressive, not super defensive. It's a lovely, just right kind of porridge temperature Terran build. And Coffee's just going to deny the warp in with the pylon. Not quite. No, but still, he is up 30 army supply, and he is not going to be stymied here. It's the Protoss going to have to tap for game 1. GG.
No, not stymied. He got stymied on by Coffee, though. Sorry, guys. That's my fingernails on a chalkboard joke for the day. I'll use it up.
Please like and subscribe and smash that bell.
There's only one a day, I promise. It's part of my contract, guys. They said I have to make you all cringe a little bit. You know, if the kids aren't saying cringe in the chat, they said it's not a live stream or in a live game. So I was like, okay, fine.
That's right. Yeah, if someone isn't saying cringe or ratio, then I think whatever you're doing on the internet isn't correct.
Well, I think Coffee definitely figured out how to do everything correct in that game. Just a nice, clean game. I do think Firefly had, I guess you could say, messed up a little. Like, the Observer flew into the Raven and died. So it was a good matchup of builds. But like, one of the Stalkers got picked off. The Stalkers picked off nothing on the way across the map. I feel like off that opening, you would like to have 6 Stalkers over there picking off units. And it was just a little too slow to get into either Colossus or Charge and a sizable number of Gateway units. So there was lots of shield batteries. It looked like a bit of fear in Firefly's play. And Coffee was able to just play a very straightforward, solid build, hit with the decisiveness, great Raven usage. And yeah, really clean win for game 1.
It's a great succinct way to tie it up, but we're going to take a break, guys. When we return, game 2 between Coffee and Firefly. Let's see if the Protoss can tie it up after the break. See you then. G'day StarCraft fans, and welcome back to the DreamHack Masters main event here for China. I'm Maynard, with me is Pig, and we are getting amongst it here with our first TVP of the day. It is Coffee versus Firefly. My goodness, getting the Protosses all mixed up there for a second.
Indeed, mate. A bit of an interesting first game in that, you know, started out like cautious build orders, feeling each other out, and then, well, you called it when that Reaper went through, got a full scout of the base. Coffee went, cool. There's nothing aggressive you can do to me, you know? And I feel like when the Protoss plays very defensively like that, you really want to keep the Terran's knowledge to a minimum. So they've got to keep guessing. Is there a bunch of Phoenix waiting in there? You know, what's going on? Is it going to be DTs? Zero safety precautions required. Straight to the stim, straight to their shields, get to the medevacs and charge across that map. And when a Terran's able to confidently cut the corners and go for that, my lord, that's a scary attack. And I think we've got to, of course, point out the fact that that is one of the least, it's one of the most information light builds for a Protoss. Your first obs gets across so late with that 2-gate Robo build, the Blink Robo, and it gets there, a Raven's there, and it dies, and it's like, I still don't even know what he's up to. Like, not a good feeling for Firefly. Built his shield batteries a bit earlier than he needed, and then just didn't have the unit numbers to deal with it. But it's now on his map pick, so we'll see exactly how it goes. The opponent, though, the Terran player, is in the top left side of the map, representing Invictus Gaming. Got some piping hot play in game one. Can he continue it? It's Coffee.
Some strong Coffee. Like at least a triple shot. And in the bottom right, from Chaussee-l'Autour, it is the Protoss player, Firefly.
Je suis Lautau or something. For me, I just call it the Cactus Camel team. Is what
Cactus
I call
Camel team. You're like Chaussee-l'Autour.
I'm like trying to just copy what I think you said, but no, I'm just gonna keep calling it the Cactus Camel team. Sorry.
I did. You know how in high school you usually have like a second language class?
Oh yeah.
Mine was, I'm not saying that this is why I can do pronunciations, because it's not. I just wanted to hear it and try and practice pronouncing it, just so that, you know, people that are, you know, native Chinese or simplified Chinese speakers or Mandarin speakers can actually enjoy it. But I did take Mandarin in high school, so I did like a couple of years of it.
Oh, okay. I ate a few at recess, but that was it for
me. I ate them before soccer matches. Right about halftime.
Yeah, the seedless ones, the ones with the seeds, not as enjoyable, a bit too much work. Yeah.
As a kid, I had no patience for things with seeds in them.
Yeah,
no patience whatsoever.
Bite into one, not knowing, you get a big crunch and little chunks of seed in your mouth, and you're like,
And you're eating a chicken leg, and I'm like, this chicken's leg's got a bone in it. That's dumb. I want a boneless chicken wing, or I want a chicken nugget.
It just occurred to me, you know, they're gonna genetically or grow. They're probably gonna do like the lab meat, and it's gonna be drumsticks with like edible bones. Like, you can eat the handle now.
Yeah, look, dude, I am 100% down with synthetic meat if it like tastes exactly the same. It tastes exactly the same, and it's not bad for me. Like, it's not going to make me grow an arm out of my forehead or something like that. Then I'm absolutely down with it. They make me a boneless chicken leg, done. I'm in.
Well, the Reaper's getting full info, and he's regened enough to survive 3 hits, so he can just dart past now. As long as he doesn't screw around too long, yeah, no, he's fine.
How about 2 hits? See you, nerd.
Oh,
never mind.
Good micro from Coffee there. Needed to get to that, from Firefly, sorry. Coffee needed to get to that ledge just a little quicker. Still, it served its function. He's got a bunker up for safety. Hellion on the way behind this. Starport on the way once again. No more of the classic Coffee early extra barracks build orders. Now, Firefly is going for a second gate. So yeah, Firefly, it's funny because when he was coming up as a player, I was always like, ooh, what cheesy shenanigans will this Protoss do? And I think it's obviously partially because we always come into casting China after casting the Taiwan, Hong Kong, Macau, Japan region, which is basically just like cheese amplified times 1,000, right? Let's be real, that region is crazy. And then Firefly would just play like solid macro defensive build orders and try to scout and react. And I'd be like, oh, this feels like, you know, kind of European style play. There's not many like, I'm going to proxy a DT shrine in the corner and just go. He's doing the exact same build, and he's aiming to just do it better than the previous game. The crazy thing is he played Waterfall, short rush distance map, hard to survive that sort of push. Now he's playing the shortest rush distance map. And he's doing a build where if he takes the inside base, it's easier to defend, but he's taking the front base. I've got to be a little critical of Firefly's map choices here. Like, it does not really play to the style that he's playing.
Yeah, he wants to play defensive, and giving like Terran have always enjoyed shorter rush distances because they are a race that pushes via the ground. They have medevacs and whatnot, but their pushes are you know, you're not warping it into warp prism. You're not sending it across the map on like 18 legs. It is very much a march. And the shorter the map distance, the easier those tanks and marines get into the front door of the Protoss, and the less defenses they're going to have by the time you get there. So yeah, it is a bit strange.
Marine Scout actually gets past the it does get caught there. But yeah, once again sees the third go down and is like, hey, that's an early third. Even gets the probe on it with the Hellion. I mean, Coffee once again has nothing to worry about on the defense. Is like, cool. Yep. You're just going to be defending this game. I'm going to just go up. Is building tanks this time, though. Yes,
I was about to mention that, but you got it before me, is that there is a couple tanks, so it is a little bit different. You know, we haven't got the full lineup of the production just yet, and we don't have the double tech lab barracks. There we go, second time's a charm. Getting the upgrades for the bio. And this time, the Observer is going to flirt with the main base here. Obviously, the Raven's there to try and intercept it.
Oh, watch out for the stim there. Okay, the Stalker's just going for the SCVs there. Already getting a few of them. There's a tank and a bunch of Marines going after these Stalkers. 5 SCV snipes, not bad. They're well worth losing a Stalker. The Adept shading in the natural and getting its face blown up. Not the most ideal, but some very good damage. Now, the factory, I believe, was lifting off there, so we're not going to see, like, mass siege tank style.
No, we're switching over to Widow Mines already. They're getting another barracks ready for that tech lab. But we are seeing something different from the Protoss. We're seeing Templar, Archives, and Charge. I mean, Charge was the same, but Templar Archives instead of Tier 3 Robotech.
Yeah.
So going to rely on his quicker storms and potentially Archons here for his defense against the Terran, which is, you know, pretty fantastic until Ghosts are out. And, you know, you don't normally see Templar Archives, I guess, this fast from Protoss.
Yeah, he does have a Robo as well. 4 gases up, so I would expect Psystorm to kick in, like, the moment that finishes and to warp in probably 2 or 3 High Templar. Start gathering that energy once he's got the gas for it. Obviously, the push is going to be imminent. It's 6 minutes 10 already, you know. Stim's done. Shields is on the way. +1's on the way. Medevacs are pumping. Widow Mines coming in is very fortunate for Coffee, because if you can get a big spread of Widow Mine bio, it annihilates these sort of Zealot High Templar armies. They don't have anything really that can clear it up, and clumps of Zealots, even Archons, take so much damage from Widow Mines. A lot of people don't realize Widow Mines do bonus damage to shields. Them and Disruptors, the only 2 units in the game that have this interaction, where they basically anti-Protoss units.
I got the Prism on the way here. Prism can be is necessary, really, for these High Templar to stay safe for the time being. But the push is just moments away from hitting that third base. Storm about to finish in a couple seconds, though.
Oh, my lord. Oh, okay. Tries to come down the ramp. Does get hit by the tanks. Nice moves by Coffee. I love this move forward, push back the Observers, and then split push. This is so hard to deal with, and just bypassing Storm entirely. Even dropping in a blind spot. Oh, the army on the front does go too far forward, but you know what? The Widow Mines are still alive. That's what matters.
This is going to be brutal in the main. He managed to thread the needle of the detection of Firefly there. He had no map version of this. Bit of a late reaction. Oh, man. And also that overcharge on the shield battery. I mean, that wasn't going to save anything with this many Marines here with +1.
As well, Maynard. Oh, big storm, but he saves almost every Marine just before they go down. And, oh, the Marines do unload to the left side. He's trying to shove in. I think he should have pulled those Marines back to heal, but he's trying to just really capitalize and win. And it's a bit of an overextension. It means this will get cleaned up. He's rallying to this right side, though. I mean, Coffee did so much damage with the initial drop. He might just be able to win anyway, but this gives an opportunity. If Coffee's push gets broken, Firefly might be able to hold on.
Yeah, and potentially even counterattack. Oh, the medevacs were coming back, and they're getting a little bit of pepper there from their Stalkers, but the tanks actually took them down. Storm at the back line, starting to soften up these tanks a little bit, but there's still more on the front line. Great Widowmine there, actually getting 3 Zealots.
There's no bio here. It's like 3 Marauders, 3 Marines, but there's like so little Protoss as well, so it's just crazy.
It's been about 5 months since we've seen him play and cast these games, but I remember Coffee, when he decides it's attack time, it's always attack time.
He's gonna drop the main, isn't he? You know he's gonna. Yeah, he's picking up his army. You could see his army pull back, and I'm like, he's 100% gonna pick up and drop the main. But no, he's decided. Oh, because he scanned the army, and Firefly's army immediately ran towards his main, anticipating. So Coffee just loaded, unloaded immediately, and then stayed there, making it difficult. But the Zealot drop will come in to counter this. We've seen Coffee struggle to finish off his Protoss opponent sometimes. He feels a real sense of urgency. He's not one of these Terran players that's happy to just chill and go to the next step. He wants to kill the Protoss before the late game.
Yeah, absolutely. He is an early to mid-game fight Terran, and it's sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. Sometimes he just, because he's got that, you know, he's like a great white in the ocean. Once he smells blood, he just will not stop. He just goes in for the kill. But sometimes it leads to overextensions. The defense not too bloody bad, though. He does manage to secure this third base and picks off the warp prism, which is very, very nice. Now he can breathe a sigh of relief in the next minute or so, just in case that other prism's on the way, which it is. He doesn't have to worry about it for now.
Man, I'm just admiring the discipline and the training of those Marines. 4 below Half-Life Marines, stimming, running past 3 9-foot-tall, bloody, giant space warriors to gun down their warp prism. Impressive, man.
I'd be calling my unit commander to try and get home on injury.
Yeah. He's like, all right, boys, we need to charge in there and do this, tug down the warp prism. I'd be like, can I veto that order, please? Like, I don't want to run past zealots, man. Ooh, it's a good run by, buying a lot of time.
Very nice, very nice.
Firefly's straight back into this game, and I think might actually be way ahead after. Yeah, definitely way ahead after this. Get zealots in the back base as well.
Wow.
This is devastating. Coffee's momentum has run out, and it is that over eagerness that we talked about even before the series started, where, you know, sometimes it looks fantastic when it works, but his double drop did so well in the main. And I guess we knew that was going to happen. He didn't. So he kind of shoved on the third a bit too hard. Then he re-dropped the main. If he went back and healed those Marines, because really that's what it's about, is what you want is a full unit set as Terran. You need enough Marines to gun down the Zealots, and then they need to all clump in and come at once. And if they all clump up and come in at once, well, your Widow Mines do massive damage. And then your Marauders start tanking, your tanks and mines are protected. It becomes this like beautiful combo. But because Coffee threw all his Marines away, he ended up with like 2 mines, a tank, 3 Marauders, and 2 medevacs on the right side. And obviously even a handful of Zealots could clean that up. Now, it's not over by any means, but Firefly's got a lot of Zealots ready to backstab. He's really trying to defend with the smallest possible technical army of splash damage.
Ooh,
and he's, I mean, if Coffee commits to a push, he's dead behind this. There are so many Zealots that will hit him, his economy will get torn up.
Speaking of Zealots, we got some coming on the left-hand side here. And looks like Coffee's just expecting Dark Templar, just dropping those turrets in the mineral lines.
Oh, this is not too good for Firefly. That one gets caught out. Oh, real nice catch.
Yeah, and this is actually a little bit of an overextension from the Protoss instead, where the Zealots got so deep they didn't actually test the waters there. Phew! Headshot.
Not bad at all. Coffee's now tied up the supply. The problem is that Double Robo Colossus is here, and there is 1 Viking on the field. That's not good. 2nd Viking, 3rd Viking are out. Okay, that's something, but there's 2 Colossus out. They've almost got the Big Daddy Longlegs extended thermal lance upgrade. 2nd eBay Armory's on the way, so Coffee will have some longevity, but no 4th Command Center started just yet. Marines will start dealing with that. Zealot drop in the main could cause problems. Notice that Coffee doesn't have the tight base formation that Maru always has, where he can wedge his Marauders in a little crack, and only 1 Zealot can get at them at a time. That's actually a really key thing the top Terrans have started doing recently, is they always create this really narrow avenue next to their command center between the buildings. They just set the rally point there.
Yep.
And even if they're massively outnumbered, the Zealots just can't get at them.
That's actually part of the other reason why I picked Terran all those years ago, was the fact that you can just build your structures anywhere and you can make these neat little perfect looking grids of sim cities. Make these funnels and channels.
Thickest wall-offs in the game, beautiful little base layouts, the nicest proxies. Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with that. Mass repair as well can be a game changer.
Indeed. You haven't lived until you have a handful of battle cruisers with a bunch of SCVs underneath them on auto repair, just never dying to anything ever.
Yeah, man. Nothing like repairing a capital ship in orbit from the ground with your little space drill.
Our drill will pierce the heavens. Oh, a bit of an engagement here. That is a lot of Colossus, though. I do not know about this one for Coffee.
Yeah, this is, I mean, he's outnumbered. He's got slightly better upgrades, but my lord, he cannot let any storms land, man. The EMPs are really nice, but I don't know if it's enough.
The Vikings are getting the job done against the Colossus slowly but surely, but the splash damage is shredding his bio count. And yeah, the Protoss has lost his shields. Yes, the EMPs hit absolutely everything, but it feels like the Protoss still just has way too much left on the board, and the Terran's going to go back to the natural tail between his legs.
I was just laughing. I wasn't laughing at Maynard, guys. I'm not that much of an ass. Firefly's Observer was lagging behind, so he stood an Immortal on top of the Widow Mine and shot the Immortal to kill the Widow Mine with the splash damage. Cool technical maneuver, and the Observer arrived literally right afterwards, and the Immortal was just like, really? Did I have to get punched in the face? Either way, it is, of course, just a quick pause there occasionally. There's technical issues. The cat jumps on the keyboard. The mum comes in and says, "What are you doing playing that video game, son?" I'm sure that's absolutely what happens for professional gamers, Maynard.
Yeah, professional gamers have to tell their mother, "No, mum, I can't come down for dinner. I'm playing for my tournament life." She's like, "Well, just pause it. Come downstairs with your father and me." And it's like, you can't pause an online video game. I mean, technically you can, but I explain it to you, you won't understand.
Oh, muscle cramp. Wow.
Oh no. Oh wow. Okay.
I would have. For me, I get those in my calf most commonly. I never really get them
the
in the
foot
hand.
cramp a lot.
Oh, the foot one? Yes, yeah. That one.
I hate it, man. I know that I can feel it coming, and I just start grabbing my toes and pulling them back. I'm like, no! And it doesn't happen at the PC desk, thankfully. I don't get cramps at the PC desk, but I definitely get them when I'm like on the couch.
I recently started sleeping on my tummy for the first time in years, and I'll sleep with my arm underneath me. I don't know why I've started sleeping like this. And I'll wake up after God knows how many hours, and like my whole arm and shoulder are just completely numb and like dead. It's like the most ridiculous feeling. It's not quite a cramp, but anyways, here we go. The unpause is here. The muscle cramp's better. Coffee's trying to hang on, but man, there's storms all over. The Medivacs cop a big storm. The ghost screams there are extra cinematic. That's right. Every single one thinks he's Ned Stark, thinks he's Boromir, thinks he's some epic character from a film. But there's just too much Protoss on the dance floor, Maynard.
There is quite a lot indeed. And Coffee is getting some ground here, but the real story in this game is, you know, he holds, but for how long? There is a huge economic discrepancy between the two players. We've got 4-base Protoss with a 25 worker lead, which is absolutely massive. Oh, I adore this. I mean, I just the one behind Dark Shrine and the Terran's like, "I'm dead, let's get a nuke."
He does it every time as well. Every season there's at least one game where Coffee's like dead in the water and he's like, "Yeah, let's make a nuke." You like flip that coin. I mean, it only comes up 1 in 100 times, but give it a go, man. I love it. It is actually cool. And if you think about how he plays, right, where even when he's ahead, it's like, pick up the whole army, drop the main, rally everything into the fourth. And if you can get a single unit to just have such an explosive amount of AoE coming out of it, hey, why not? Give it a go, right? See if it lands. And even if it just forces them to pull workers off a base and you're hitting in 2 other places at once, you really can strain your opponent's multitasking with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And here we go, 007 over here. Ready to paint the target.
Hasn't put the gun on its back. You can tell that means he hasn't put it on the hold fire command. So if he doesn't have a move command on it, it will automatically shoot whatever's near it and give it away its position. He's got to be careful on that. Oh, he's trying to nuke behind the army.
Oh, I love it. Nuking the army is such a YOLO play. Oh no, he's going for the natural.
Yeah.
But there are some players that are so good at baiting the army into just the right spot.
Okay, Zealot dropping the back, killing another 5 SCVs. Coffee's economy mortally wounded already. And I think Firefly's going to dive on the front and pulls the probes away, does identify where that is. Depowering the robo and some gateways, kind of nice, but on the front, it is an absolute meat grinder.
Yeah, cool to see a nuke, but does it matter? Some high Templar at the back line going for an SCV storm. Oh my god, that is some bad weather right there for those SCVs.
The screams are incredible. The pain of Terran players everywhere there.
007 comes back, says no.
He does try to help out, pulls out his little mini pistol there, in this case the C10 canister rifle. And
oh my god, Coffee just won't die.
He somehow clears it. He has a 10 army supply advantage. Unfortunately, the Zealot's in his rear base, so even with that army supply advantage, you know, can you really get across the map and break them down? Very
you know what
unlikely.
this is? You know what this looks like to me? 15 frontline workers. Let's get them in front of that army. Pull them all.
Pull the 11 boys.
Exactly. Pull. I mean, it was 15 when I mentioned that, but now it's 10. Pull 10 boys. Grab them all. Let's go.
Make
Stop
it 9.
hiding.
Make it 9.
Frontline. Get the militia happening.
Okay, he's building SCVs right now. I admire it, Coffee. I like it, but I think at this point you got to try and throw the coffee in your opponent's face. You got to go for the YOLO. Just get over there, mate. And a couple of Stalkers and Zealots, not the units you really need right now. The Sentry could be kind of brutal if there's a force field on that ramp. EMP says no.
Yeah, good EMPs.
Oh, man.
Man,
oh, there is a Colossus. Right. There is, but there's Vikings and Marauders,
Vikings.
man.
Yeah.
Firefly.
I'm believing here. No, I'm starting to believe.
Firefly, why are you fighting out here? Oh, my lord. This actually might give Coffee a chance. I mean, he really still should not have a chance. There's so much money.
What happened there was Firefly had that, wait, no moment. You know, when you get that surprised look on your face, the dread goes up your spine.
Yeah.
And you're just like, wait, Oh God. So you stick around on the fight a little bit too long.
Yeah, he's still making Sentry Stalker. The battery overcharge is...
good Zealots on the north side.
Focus down the overcharge. It goes down, but Colossus surviving for a long time. Is it enough, though? Oh, a second Colossus. I think that's going to do it. The cannon on the right side coming in as well. The Vikings finally taking down the Colossus. Oh, my Lord. Firefly has 6 army supply. It's 3 warping in Stalkers, and that is it, Maynard. This would be the most disgusting, amazing, beautiful, ridiculous comeback of all time. I don't have words. What the hell?
I wish Coffee dealt with his cramp earlier. Oh my God. What a comeback. I think I can count on one